What unexpected survival fact helped you in adult life? I once read on a forum that if a car is smoking after a crash, you should crawl along the ground. I thought it was useless and didn't argue about it. One day, I was so exhausted from work that I didn't notice a truck in front of me and crashed into it. Smoke started pouring out. I barely got out of the car, lay down, and crawled. The smoke rose upward, but I could breathe and move toward the roadside. 10 minutes later, firefighters arrived. Since then, if something's wrong, I hit the ground and keep moving. A friend once told me if you meet a bear, sing softly and back away. I laughed, thinking, what kind of nonsense is that? But one time in the woods, I ran into a hungry bear, and it clearly had dinner plans for me. I sang some pop song, barely audible, and backed off slowly. It stared but didn't follow. I made it to the trail in one piece. Singing actually helped, even if it sounds crazy. I heard that if you fall through ice, you should spread your arms and yell. It seemed like advice for idiots. But during a fishing trip, the ice cracked, and I went under. I spread my arms, shouted, the ice held, and someone heard me. Guys pulled me out. Without that, I'd probably be gone. A driver once said if your brakes fail, scrape the car sideways against a guardrail. I thought he was nuts, it'd wreck the car. But one time, the brake pedal went soft, and the car started speeding up. I swerved and slid along the guardrail. It slowed me down a lot. The car was trashed, but I walked away. It sounds absurd, but that fact kept me alive. I read somewhere that in a crowd or panic, you should raise your elbows and move sideways to get out. One time at a concert, the crowd surged toward me like a wave, people falling underfoot. I raised my elbows and sidestepped toward the exit. That's how I got out of the danger zone without a concussion. My elbows were my shield. Some guy told me if a storm starts, squat down and cover your ears. I thought he was joking. Who does that? Once while biking, a bad storm hit me crossing a field. I squatted, curled up, sparks flashed, then a deafening boom as lightning struck a tree nearby. I was fine. That fact saved me from death or disability, even if I looked like a fool. I heard that if your car's on fire, you should roll out the door like a tumbleweed. I said they were mixing up Hollywood with real life. But once, my car's wiring sparked, and I tumbled out onto the asphalt. The flames didn't touch me, just bruises. Rolling's faster than jumping. That's a fact. A fisherman told me if you're drowning, spit in the water to see the current's direction. I thought he was drunk. But once, a river current swept me away. I spat. My spit showed me where to go. Swimming with the current was way easier than fighting it, and I reached the shore. Now, if something's off in the water, I spit. Someone told me if a dog attacks, freeze like a statue. I thought, what's that nonsense? Dogs smell fear. But once, a big dog lunged at me. I had no chance. I stood like a post, held my breath. It growled and left. Staying still saved me, even though I nearly lost it. An ex-firefighter told me if there's a forest fire, run to where it's already burned. I didn't pay much attention. One spring, my friends and I were in the woods. It was fine until a strong wind kicked up and the forest caught fire. I remembered his words, dragged my friends to the black ash where it had already burned. The fire didn't spread there. Rescuers found us. The burned patch was our shelter. A shop clerk once shared if a mugger attacks, throw your wallet to the side. I thought, sounds sketchy. But one night, a guy blocked my path. I pulled out my wallet and tossed it into the grass. He went for it, and I bolted the other way. $50 saved my skin. Someone told me if there's panic in the subway, crawl. I just smirked like, yeah, crawl on the subway floor, brilliant. But then I was in one, an escalator caught fire. The crowd rushed the exit, it turned into a crush, people screaming, falling. I remembered the advice, hit the floor, and crawled along the wall. People were trampling each other above, but I slipped out of the chaos below. Who'd have thought it actually works? My mom always said, if you're poisoned, eat charcoal and sniff an onion. I thought it was some old generation myth until I got food poisoning at a roadside diner. I was far from home, barely standing. There was only a gas station nearby. I remembered the charcoal thing, found some tablets in my car, and at the station, they handed me an onion, probably thinking I was a junkie. It worked. Who'd guess that weird combo would save me? I heard once if you're stuck in snow in a car, dig a hole and sit in it. One winter, I was driving through a field, and my car got stuck in a blizzard. No signal, no hope. Out of desperation, I dug a hole under the car and waited out the night. The wind didn't reach me, and I didn't freeze. The hole was my salvation, not my grave. If a current's pulling you out to sea, swim parallel to the shore, not toward land. We were at the beach when I was a teen. I swam a lot. My parents didn't worry if I went far. I was sure my stamina would keep me afloat. But then I noticed I was drifting farther from shore. My strength was fading, and panic replaced confidence. I remembered that fact and swam along the coast. After a while, I reached the shore, barely avoiding drowning. I learned in the desert with no water, suck on stones. I thought it was for lunatics. Got lost in the heat, no bottle. Sucked on pebbles. Saliva flowed. My throat didn't dry out. Made it to a road. Stones bought me time to get out. I ready, if your car's sinking, kick the window out with your feet, not your hands. Thought it was movie nonsense. But I drove into a river once. Kicked the glass with my heels. It shattered. I swam out. My feet were stronger than I thought. A friend said in the desert with no water, suck stones to make saliva flow. I thought for crazies who choose rocks. Went on a desert tour. Photos, sunsets, romance. Forgot my water in camp, walking, heat near 100, throat bone, dry. Wanted to turn back, but it was too far. Remembered my friend. Found a smooth pebble, started sucking. Saliva came, head cleared. Made it to camp, drank. Stones gave me time. Now I never take off my water backpack, but I keep pebbles in my pocket. A guy at a campsite said, if you're lost at night, follow the North Star. It's always north. I doubted it's scout stuff. I've got a GPS now. Went to gather firewood in the fall. Dusk, quiet. Phone died, trails vanished. I wandered for hours. Wanted to guess my way, but the forest was thick. Remembered the guy. Found the North Star. Figured my path, walked. It led to a road, car lights shining. Stars worked. Now I teach my kids to find stars, just in case. Some dude on a stream said, if your phone dies in the cold, tuck it under your clothes. I thought nonsense. The battery's not coming back. Went skiing, below zero, snapping pics of snowy trees. Phone died and I was alone, no map. Wanted to guess my way, but it was getting colder. Remembered the stream, tucked the phone under my jacket, against my skin. 7 minutes later, it turned on, map loaded. Got to a village. Phone against my body saved me. Now I carry a power bank, but I remember the trick. Saw on Reddit, if you're in a sandstorm, cover your face and stay put. Thought stupid, you've got to move, not wait. Went camping in the desert with friends. Stars, guitar. A storm hit, sand everywhere, couldn't see. Wanted to run to the tent, but it was a blur. Remembered the post. Sat down, wrapped my face in a shirt, waited. Sand settled in an hour, I walked to camp. Staying put was smarter than running. Now I watch the sky in the desert. My mom taught me, if you get heat stroke, wrap your head in a wet cloth. One summer, I was working construction, scorching heat. Suddenly, my head's buzzing, vision darkening, I'm collapsing. Wanted to get to shade, but I had no strength. Remembered mom's words. Soaked my cap from a bottle, wrapped it around my head. Felt better, made it to the medic. The cloth kept me from passing out. Now in heat, I drink more water and keep a wet cap. A neighbor told me if food's stuck in your throat, swallow with your nose pinched. We were at a friend's birthday, eating burgers, chatting. A piece of bread got lodged, choking me. Remembered her words. Pinched my nose, swallowed. The chunk went down, I could breathe. Everyone was still panicking, but I'm sitting there, red, faced but alive. Swallowing with a pinched nose was like magic. Now I chew slower. A guy I know said if your throat's scratchy, chew salt, don't swallow. I said it's no medicine. Caught a cold in the fall, stuck at home, throat burning, pharmacy closed. Wanted tea with honey, but no honey. Remembered him. Took a pinch of salt, chewed, spat it out. The scratchiness eased, throat felt better. By morning I was almost fine. Salt saved me, weird as it is. Now I stock pills, but keep salt in the kitchen. Heard in a swamp, fall on your back, spread your arms. Sounded like a death sentence. Sank waist deep, lay back, spread out, floated. Got out. The swamp didn't pull me under while I stayed flat. Read carbon monoxide in a car. Open windows, yell your lungs out. Thought it was for maniacs. Stuck in a tunnel in traffic, felt woozy. Windows wide, I shouted, head cleared. Made it to fresh air. Yelling and wind pulled me through. An old man said sandstorm. Cover your face, stay put. Thought he was lying. Got caught in one on a motorcycle trip, sat down, wrapped my head in my jacket. Sand passed, I was fine. Sitting and waiting worked. Heard in a crowd crush, elbows up, move sideways. Thought, what's that nonsense? At a rally, the crowd surged, nearly crushed me. Raised my elbows, sidestepped to the exit, got out. Elbows were armor. Without them, I'd have been trampled. A colleague said, lost at night, follow the stars, North Star's always north. I thought it was for dreamers. Got lost in the woods once, found the star, walked by it. Led me to a road. Stars really work if you know where to look. Read dog attacks, throw something to distract it. Thought, nonsense, dogs aren't fools. But once, a dog charged, I tossed my cap. It went for it, I ran the other way. A buck cap saved my pants,